Hey guys, Panther0822 here. Hope everybody's having a fantastic, well, it's going to be Tuesday here shortly, but I hope everybody's having a fantastic Friday. I hope the holidays were really solid for you and that everything was going well. So, let's take a minute, share this out a couple places, then we'll dive in. It's about 17-ish minutes to midnight, my local time. I'm probably going to try and wrap this up by then. I'm feeling a bit tired. I was debating going to bed early, which honestly I probably should have. But I wanted to watch something because I was highly interested in it. And I'm glad I did, because it definitely is turned into those, I'll just watch one episode 15 episodes later type things. So I did not watch 15 episodes. I just watched the one episode and then went from there. So I think I already tweeted this out. Did I already tweet this out? No, I did not. Alrighty. Welcome, welcome. Thank you very much. You know, I probably should have made myself some tea. That's alright. No big deal. Anyways. Oh, you know, Tribble, I forgot to turn it on. I was being a little spacey. Let's fix that. No, I need that blasting in my ears that loud. Good God, no. Alright. Yep. Anyways, welcome guys. It is den time with the Panther, so thank you very much for tuning in and watching it. If you caught the last stream, we were playing some Munchkins with the family, and that was a lot of fun. The wife won. The wife typically wins. She plays a really good, really solid game, kind of no matter what it is. So she's just a good player and tough to beat. So anyways, if you didn't catch that after catching the den time, you should go and watch that, because that was a lot of fun. So anyways, we also did a 3-hour stream. Yeah, that's true. Also did about a little bit over 3-hour stream of sorry, I got a lot of pop-up notifications that keep like popping up and creating issues. Go away. So 3-hour stream of DA Inquisition, and that's been a lot of fun. As far as Solo goes, no, I have not seen Solo yet. Honestly, I'm gonna wait till it's in the dollar theater. All the previews that I've seen for the movie have not impressed me. It has not looked anything of quality. And then the other issue that I have with the movie is that it has gone through multiple directors. So I will have to wait and see as far as that goes, because again, when it comes to the Star Wars movies, there are certain stories that are good, and there are certain things that I'm going, why did you go back and do this? there has when Disney purchased Star Wars, there was a lot from George Lucas. There were a lot of different things that were talked about. There were a lot of curiosities, a lot of things as far as what is Disney going to do with the Star Wars universe. Are they going to go back in? Are they going to do an Old Republic TV series, of which right now Netflix, there's a huge rumor in the Netflix arena that there is going to be a Old Republic TV series. I have seen a TV series for Maul, a live-action Maul movie series, which in its own way I think could be interesting, because most of the time we have the story arcs that cover the good guys, what the good guys are doing, and things like that, but we don't really have anything solidly covering kind of the back history on the other side of the equation. So, and honestly, a lot of things comes down to perspective as far as things go. When it comes to what most people would consider evil, it really depends on the point of view. And one of the biggest movies that I can actually point to that is actually not a Star Wars movie. It's called Tomorrowland. Tomorrowland is an absolutely fantastic movie, and there is there's a monologue that Carrie Ewells does. And if you don't know who Carrie Ewells is, Carrie Ewells plays House. But there's a monologue that he does, and you look at this character, and in a way he is the bad guy for the movie. But when you look at his logic and you look at his reasons, it's one of those things where you're going, I want to argue with you. I want to tell you to fuck off because you're a major dick. Which to a certain degree you could, because I mean, yeah. But one of the things that Carrie Ewells points out in Tomorrowland is, how do you have a dual pandemic of obesity and famine? How does that work? It's a very interesting point, in that in today's world we have a lot of pandemics and a lot of things that go on that, when you really get down to it, when you really look at it, they should not exist. We are at a point culturally and worldwise in which we have the ability to clothe pretty much everybody. We have the ability to feed pretty much everybody. We have the ability to eliminate pretty close to everything and get ourselves into a dystopia, get ourselves into kind of a Star Trek-esque, maybe not 100% Star Trek-esque, but into a Star Trek-esque period, and usher in a whole new thing for mankind, to where we are no longer thinking of money as our dominant driving force, but we are thinking of the well-being of man as the driving force. And so, kind of wrapping that back into Star Wars, it's interesting to see where they're going with Star Wars. There's a lot of stuff. We have the new set of movies with Rey and Finn and Poe and all of that, and Disney has made it very clear that this is going to end the Skywalker storyline, the Skywalker story arc. Rian Johnson has been authorized to do another Star Wars series altogether in a completely different part of the universe. I've seen some things in regards to Game of Thrones. The two writers for the Game of Thrones series, not the author of the book, but the two writers for the TV series, they have been in negotiations for doing some Star Wars movies, which would be interesting, because if they do some of the Star Wars movies, if they do a whole thing, we would definitely more than likely be getting a much darker series than we've gotten out of all of the stuff so far. Empire Strikes Back was probably the darkest out of all of them, other than maybe Last Jedi. Last Jedi was pretty dark, but Empire Strikes Back was an absolutely phenomenal and is hailed for most Star Wars fans. It's probably the best Star Wars film, or at least a very close second. So, but that's been kind of the what is going to happen with the Star Wars universe. What's going to go on now that Disney has taken over. And honestly, I've tried to stay away from Star Wars series and things like that. Number one, because I don't really read the books. I'm only really familiar with the movies. I have seen all of the Star Wars movies, other than Solo, up to date. So I've seen the original 4, 5, and 6. I've seen the most current 2 with out of the remake that J.J. Abrams is doing. J.J. Abrams is coming back for Episode 9. I'm very thankful for that. Rian Johnson did a good job with Episode 8, but I think that there were some things that really needed to be better explained. And honestly, there is a deleted scene that has been leaked out, and it's a scene in between Rey and Luke. And honestly, this deleted scene should have been in the movie. It actually would have helped with some continuity issues. It would have actually helped put a little better perspective on Luke's character. It needed to be in the film. I don't know why it did. I don't know why it didn't make it in. I don't know that. I need to buy the movie and watch the deleted scenes with commentary and find out why Rian Johnson deleted this scene in the movie, because it needed to be there. It would have actually helped the movie. It would have helped the movie flow-wise. It would have helped the movie with understanding Rey's character and how she thinks. It would have helped with Luke and how he thinks, and it would have helped people understand why Luke is at a point of the Jedi need to die in the context of the way that they were, which was actually very true. In the Star Wars, and this is a complete weird tangent, but hey, in the Star Wars universe, there's been a huge pull indirectly towards kind of and this is a complete fan theory. I need to be very, very clear on this. This is a fan theory. It's not even one that I started. This is something that I've seen trolling around the internet on more than one occasion. I have done a video on this. It's actually the most viewed video that I have. It's at 1,100 some odd views, almost 1,200 some odd views, and it goes over the Grey Jedi Code. And the video is listed as Grey Jedi Code fan theory, and it's listed that way for a reason. The Grey Jedi is a fan theory. There is nothing in the Star Wars universe that has that is specifically actually said Grey Jedi. To be very clear. And I've watched, I need to finish watching the rest of Star Wars Rebels. I've watched up to see the end of, I want to say, season 3. I want to say it's the end of season 3. I have not seen season 4 at all. But the last season that I caught was the one where Vader and Ahsoka had their duel. That was the last series. That was the last season that I caught. So I've seen some things here and there in regards to Rebels as far as what happens to some of the characters. It has actually been confirmed that the Ghost crew from Star Wars Rebels was actually part of the assault in Rogue One. That actually was confirmed. It's kind of it's one of those things you'd have to be paying attention to the ships that are flying around, but the Ghost is actually there, so you know that they were at least part of that. But as far as which of the Ghost crew was actually involved, I have no idea. I just know that the Ghost crew is a general because the ship is there. So, I don't know why I keep reading that. For some reason, I keep thinking I haven't read that. So, anyways, getting back into the commercials and the things that I've seen for Solo, I got it. I'm not impressed. The commercials for it have not been terribly great. They've gone through 4 individual directors. The movie in general was at one time horrendously threatened at being canceled altogether. So, and like I said, the previews that I've seen for it look like the movie belongs on an ABC special or a sci-fi special or something like that. I mean, the commercials just they look like high quality TV movie is what it looks like. So, will I go and see it? Yes. I will at least go and see the movie, and I will at least give it the benefit of the doubt. But I'm not gonna see it at $9 a ticket. I'll wait until it's in the dollar theater and pay $1.50 a ticket and see it there, because everything that I've seen about the movie so far and everything I know about the history up to this point has not been great. So my hope when I go and see the movie eventually is that it blows me away. It over exceeds my expectations of the movie. They're able to overcome the fact that they went they had to go through 4 different directors. The fact, because Disney directly fired at least 1 or 2 of them. I mean, just outright went, boom, you're done, get out. I mean, they fired at least 1 or 2 that I'm aware of. I don't know about the third I don't know about the third person. I don't know if the third person was fired or if they walked out. I know one. Here's what I know. I know that 1 or 2 of the directors was fired. I know that for a fact. I know that 1 or 2 of them was fired. I know that 1 of them walked. I know that. The 4th person, who I don't know who directed the film, and I'd have to look at the film to find out. I'm glad that person was finally able to get the project finished and was able to get the movie out. So I'm happy about that. They fired the first 2, then hired Ron Howard, who is credited for it. Okay. So Ron Howard was the... Okay. Ron Howard's a good director. I don't have any issue with Ron Howard stuff for the most part. But, and again, unfortunately, when it comes to previews, and this is not just... There have been some fantastic movies that I've seen over the years where the commercials for the movie have been absolute shit. I mean, they've been absolutely horrendous commercials. You look at the commercials and you're like, there's no way in hell I want to see that. And then you go and you see the movie and it's like, oh my god, why did I not go see this earlier? So, I am hoping that that is what happens with Solo. I am hoping that, sorry, I speak with my hands a lot and the camera angle is not in a position to see that. Okay, cool. No, and that's fair enough. I'm just my hope and expectation for the movie is that I'm blown away. I hope I go to the dollar theater and go, I should have seen this at full theater. That's what I'm hoping for. So, anyways, complete tangent, but that's okay. I don't mind tangents. I've tried to stay away from. I actually want to come back to the theory things. I have tried to stay away from being theorists. There are a lot of people out there that do theories. One of my favorite ones to actually watch is Matt Pat, the game theorist. He's a fan. I like watching this stuff. His stuff is very well researched. It's very well done. Every now and again, he does a theory where I'm looking, even though it's well researched, I think he's reaching a bit. But as far as the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, as far as the theorists go, even the guy who does the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff has said Matt Pat is the closest theorist to guess what's actually going on. Not that he's gotten everything right, but that he is the closest in regards to his theories to what is going on in the Five Nights at Freddy's universe. So, Honestly, the main thing I'm looking for at this point is I'm looking for good acting. From what I've seen of it, I think the actors may do well. I'm not familiar with the actor they got to play Han Solo, so I'm not terribly familiar with his work, or at least I don't think I am. There are times where an actor will be doing a role, and I've seen him in lots of other stuff, and I just don't recognize that I've seen him in other stuff. So there are times where it just throws me off because I actually know the actor, but I don't realize I know the actor, if that makes any sense. Let's see here. Thought the acting was great, and the lead actor was great. Solo. Okay, that's good to know. And honestly, those things triple would actually be my major concern. My major concerns would be that the actor plays the mannerisms and things like that, especially Han's smile. That's probably one of the largest things that Han's known for. It's kind of that wacky kind of weird thing where it's like one side's up, one side's down type thing. It's so so yeah, I mean the mannerisms are definitely important. I'm wondering who plays Chewbacca. I'm wondering if it is, I can't remember his name, the original actor, or if it is his protege. I'm wondering who the actor is who plays Chewbacca, because again, that's another thing, is even if it's not the same actor, a lot of it is the mannerisms, how the character moves, the way again, a lot of those micro expressions and those mannerisms and things like that. So okay, cool. That actually makes me happy because the protege did a fantastic job. I was actually very, very happy with his work. So yeah, that sounds right. So I mean, the other really big question that I have that I would hope that they answer in this particular movie, one was, how did Han and Chewie meet? Because from what I can tell, Chewie has a life debt to Han, which is a really big deal in Wookiee culture. I mean, a life debt is, you're bonded to that person for life, and you can see it in the way that, especially in Empire Strikes Back, where Chewbacca gets very, very, very protective and starts hurling stormtroopers and is like ready to put his life on the line for Han. So there's definitely something that happened between those two characters, and I want to know what it is, and I'm hoping that they answer that particular question in the movie. The other question that I'm hoping that they answer, but unfortunately one of the other things that Disney is doing is they're relying on their viewers to also read the books, which is frustrating for me because for me, I have to invest in audiobooks, because don't get me wrong, I love reading to a certain degree, but because of the way that my brain works when I read, audiobooks are a much better way, and I'm not very happy with a movie that very much relies 100% on the audience reading all the entire backstory. I think that's a bad way of storytelling. I think telling your story in a way My wife put it best. She's watched and I'll use Game of Thrones as a reference for this. In Game of Thrones, if you miss one episode, it can throw you through an entire loop and lose you altogether because of the way that. Because each season is its own storyline arc, and each episode, in its own way, is its own arc by itself. So it's like a story within a story, which is cool, and it's really well done. But it's not one of those things where I could watch season 1, episode 1, and then miss 3 episodes, and then come in at episode 1, season 4, and go, okay, what's going on? If I miss those episode 2 and 3, there was a lot that happened in episode 2 and a lot that happened in episode 3 that if I'm watching episode 4, I'm going to be lost. Completely lost. Or at least mostly lost. That is the way that Game of Thrones is written. And there's nothing wrong with the way that Game of Thrones is written, because every once in a while they throw into kind of a filler recap episode that kind of fills in the gaps here and there. So overall, it's not bad, but that's one of the reasons why my wife hates Game of Thrones, other than the fact that it's heavy in sex and heavy in blood, cut, and gore. And she's not wrong. So compared to Star Trek: The Next Generation, to where you watch episode 1, season 1, you come in and you watch season 1, episode 4. Doesn't matter if you miss episode 2 and 3. Doesn't matter at all. You can jump in at any point. The other thing that Star Trek is very good at was previously on. And don't get me wrong, Game of Thrones kind of does a previously on, but in a lot of ways they do kind of rely on you to watch the episodes. You don't have to read the books to understand what's going on in Game of Thrones, because the books are different than the TV series. And that I know because I've talked to plenty of people who've actually read all of the books for Game of Thrones, and they've seen the TV series, and they have gone, yeah, the books are different than the TV series. The books are better. And I can't make a decision on that because, again, I haven't read the books. So my concern for Solo is that they're relying too much on people reading the books to understand what's going on. That's my other concern for the movie. No, don't tell me. The two things that I want to know, that I will be going to see the movie to find out, and these are the two reasons why I will see the movie, other than it's a Star Wars film. So the two things. Number one is I want to know how Han and Chewie met. I hope they answer that. The second thing that I want to know, because I'm counting in the European way, the second thing that I want to know is seeing Han win the Millennium Falcon, because what's explained in Empire Strikes Back is that Han won the ship from Lando in a game. And Lando is still, to a certain degree, relatively sore, which I cannot blame him for, considering that a ship is a huge investment. But the Millennium Falcon originally belonged to Lando, so it would. Those are really the two things that I really would like to know. Don't tell me. I'm gonna go and see the movie, and I'll find out if they answer it, and I will do a review. But those are the things that I want to find out in regards to that particular movie. So, the other thing, and I have not bothered to watch the video once I haven't seen the movie. The other thing that I've seen is that Lucas is pissed at Disney because evidently Disney or Kathleen Kennedy lied to George about something. So I have not seen the YouTube video because I want to stay away from things until I see the movie. Once I've seen the movie, then I will go and I will watch things like that to kind of see what they're talking about, because I want to try and go into the movie as unbiased and as unspoiled as absolutely possible. I don't like spoilers before going into a movie. I really don't. Mainly because I want to have my preconceptions, and I want to have my preconceptions either proven correct or proven wrong. And I love it when they're proven wrong. Specifically, I like it when they're proven wrong in the right direction. Infinity War looked like a fantastic movie. I did not like the movie. I really didn't. I know that it's supposed to be a two-parter, but the way that Infinity War ended was in a horrendously, pretty much kind of, this is it. And I did not care for the Infinity War. I really did not. So anyways, so Dragon Age, spent 3 hours doing that. We're almost to the end, and there's actual audio. Woohoo! We like audio. Audio is a good thing. So you guys can go and watch that. Again, that was a 3-hour stream. Tomorrow is gonna be Star Wars. I need to, I got a new game. I got Star Wars. I got 2 games actually. It was a $10, like a $10 bundle or something like that. Star Wars Rebel Assault. Really old game, really good game though. I really actually enjoyed playing the game. It was fantastic. There's 2 games in the series, but I need an actual joystick to play it. It does give an option for a mouse. I did actually try playing the game a little bit with just the mouse, just to see how it controlled, see if it was something I'd be able to do, and the answer was no. No. It won't work. Okay, that's good to know. I'm happy to hear that. So anyways, so we're gonna get into some more Star Wars Rebellion tomorrow. I wanted to get into the Rebel Assault games, but I need an actual joystick, and I do not have one. I need to get one. The game is so old that it doesn't use it doesn't allow WASD controls. It does not allow arrow key controls. It is joystick. Old-fashioned, old-school joystick control. It's the way it's listed is joystick/mouse. So when I get a joystick, and I found a joystick that'll work for me for like $20 off Amazon, so I'll be ordering that. I don't know if I'll be able to get to it this month though. It may end up having to wait. We'll see. I'm not 100%. I'll have to talk to the wife and see what she thinks. But at the very least, we'll still play some Star Wars Rebellion tomorrow. I am hoping to also get some Warframe. Thursday we'll be back to Star Wars, and if wife allows, I will actually have a joystick by Thursday. So we'll do Rebel Assault if I have the joystick. Friday. I cannot impress this enough. Friday. Friday, June 1st at 1 p.m. Mountain. I'm going to do it as MST, Mountain Standard Time. It's probably not the right abbreviation. I don't care. I will be doing a 4-hour, 1 to 5, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We'll be doing a collab. We will be playing Golf with Friends, which allows up to 12 people. It defaults at 8. It will allow up to 12. So I found that out. And then also, we will be playing some Terraria for a little bit, and then honestly probably some What the Box, because What the Box is just a fun game anyways. So it's going to be at least 2 games, probably 3, and we're going to have a blast. We're going to have an absolute blast. It is going to be the collab, and that's how it's listed. It is the collab Play with the Panther Friday is what it is. So if you want to be part of that, here's what I need. I need your Steam info is what I need. So that I can send That's why I need it. I need it so that I can send you a friend request, because you cannot play with me if we are not friends on Steam. So, that being said, please send me a friend request along with just a message in regards, just like collab, just put like collab Friday or something like that. Just something so I know specifically that you're wanting to join me and play on Friday. Golf with Friends is a blast. We're going to be playing dominantly hockey mode unless we do an experimental level or 2, but it's going to be dominantly hockey mode because hockey mode is an absolute blast, and I prefer hockey mode over standard mode any day of the week. So Terraria is going to be fun. I don't know what we're going to do other than explore the world, build the world up. Maybe look at doing a Betsy battle or 2 depending on some variables, doing some different things. I'm going to make sure that there is a Defender's Forge and that there is a safe. I will make sure that those 2 items are there for you, so that if you have anything in your safe, so that you can transfer between in and out of world to have your items. And Defender Forge, same thing, as long as you've got it and you can access your stuff. So that's going to be really important, so that you can do that. So that's going to be this Friday. Saturday is going to be a Star Trek day. Because I had to do a reset on the computer, it restarted me pretty much all the way back to the beginning to the initial mission to where you become the captain of your ship. So go and check out that one, and then we'll be continuing from there. The only real advantage I have is I have a slight modicum of an idea of what I'm doing for the most part. And yeah, excuse me guys, I need to run to the Alright guys, sorry about that. I apologize. Yeah. Anyways, trying to think. What else is there to talk about? Welcome, welcome! So yeah, so Saturday's gonna be Star Trek. And then Sunday will be something. I don't know what it'll be. We'll have some gameplay or something up as far as that goes. So so I think sure, what else? Oh, I'm still waiting for the test results. Given that today is Memorial Day, or Memorial Day weekend at least, I'm pretty positive those test results are not going to be up. I could be very, very surprised. Yeah, those test results aren't up yet, so little disappointing as far as that goes, but I can't control how fast they get those test results. I'm a little disappointed in that regard because the multi-care system in Washington was much more efficient. I was able to I go in and do my MRIs for my MS, see where things are at, and I'd have I'd have the results usually within 3 to 5 business days on average. Most of the time I usually had them within about 48 hours usually. But with the UC Health stuff, they take a bit longer, unfortunately. I wish they didn't, but again, I have Zippo control over how fast they get that stuff digitally uploaded. So I am still waiting on those results in regards to into that. So yeah, it's just a pet peeve of mine when it comes to my medical stuff. Is I got used to some things in Washington. I was usually pretty quick. I'd usually get a call also telling me, hey, this is the results and whatnot. And then if I had any questions about those results, I could always email the doctor. So I do have some of the same functionality out of this. Actually, pretty much exactly the same stuff with the UC Health. Again, they just take longer to get the records updated digitally. So my doctor has those results within they said usually about 2 business days, 3 business days. So he should have had it by Friday, given today was Monday. He probably won't actually give, if they call me about them at all, it won't be probably until tomorrow at the earliest. I was hoping Friday, but yeah. Anyways, the wife and I are planning on going to see Daredevil 2. Not Daredevil 2. Deadpool 2. Why am I thinking of Daredevil? Deadpool 2. I don't know when we're gonna see it. We initially planned to see it a couple weeks ago, but that fell through. So I don't know if we are gonna wait until the end of this month and then go then, or if we're gonna go sooner than that. At $9 a ticket, it'd be $16 for just me and the wife, and about $30 for me, the wife, and the brother-in-law. So a little spendy when you're on a fixed budget. So trying to make all that stuff work. So let's see here. Oh, Wednesday we'll be doing some more Pathfinder. So if you want to catch more of that, tune in Wednesday. We are trying. Failing miserably, but we are trying to get that at a regular time. We're trying to get it earlier in the day. I think, and I'll have to talk with the wife about this. I think we're trying to get it for around 6 o'clock. That's what I think. I think we're trying to get it to where we start at about 6, which means we'll start at 8, because that's usually the way that goes. All right, let's start at 6. Something happens, we forget, setup takes stupidly long, we're not starting until about 8. So yeah, anyways, we're trying to get that to where we actually start at about, I want to say 6. I think that's the goal. The goal is to start at about 6 p.m. and then we go for as long as we go. I need to actually reach out to a friend of mine. I haven't seen or talked to him in quite some time, actually, since we moved in, so I'm a little annoyed at that, but I do need to reach out to him, see how he's doing, and then see if I can maybe get him here to maybe actually game with us on a regular basis, because it'd be nice to actually hang out with him and add him into the mix, but I don't know if he would be available or not. So not that big of a deal. When everybody's in house and we can kind of do it, hey, let's go ahead and do it, it's one thing, but when you're relying on a third person, then it becomes a little bit more difficult. So the other part of that also is that he would have to take the bus to get here, because we don't have a car and he doesn't have a car, so he would be relying on the bus to get here and back to his place. Although that might just means that he spends the night and then takes the bus home in the morning. So I mean, there's ways to get around it. It's not that big a deal. We can find a way to make it work. So so yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. It's always appreciated. If you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button either down below or over on my left-hand shoulder. Up on my top left shoulder over here is gonna be more den time, so you guys can check out more of those and get caught up. And then underneath down here is going to be a video that YouTube thinks you will like. Will you like it? I don't know. YouTube thinks you will, so give it a click. Anyways, thank you guys so much, and until the next time, this is Panther 0822. Peace out, guys. Have a fantastic night. I'll see you tomorrow.